Oh, yeah. Welcome back to Luke and Meg, Weekend Ready.
That's a new one.
You didn't like it?
No, I'm pretty sure you've done that every time you've introed this podcast. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, we're in a hotel.
We are literally in a hotel. What is wrong with you? Oh, my God, we're going to get kicked out of this hotel. That's going to be 2 times we've been kicked out of a hotel. No, on tour as well. You can't.
Well, it's not usually my fault.
To be fair, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It wasn't your fault last time.
I forgot you can't scream in hotels because people think there's something wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. That is what that means.
If anyone comes and knocks on our door, just say that I was taking a shit. I had a donut just before we started
Genuinely, they would probably be like, that makes sense.
I had 2 actually. I'm pretty backed up.
2 shits?
Donuts.
Oh, donuts. You had 2 shits before
2 donuts,
this.
0 shits.
Oh, no. You're going to be backed up.
Exactly. So my story tracks.
I had a bubble tea, so I'm also backed up.
True. We'll just tell them our diet and they'll be like, oh, next time scream louder. Welcome back
to the podcast.
Weekend Ready with Luke and Meg. We are recording this in Canberra.
Yes, we are
on tour currently in all around, I was going to say region in New South Wales, but Australia has a fake state in the middle of it called ACT. The ACT, the Australian Capital Territory.
Yeah.
Reese
has given us the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a second I doubted myself and was like, wait, is it the Australian Canberra Territory?
Not Canberra territory.
That was the dumbest thought I've had today. That's not true.
What does NT stand for?
Northern Territory.
Right. He's good.
It's just, I'll be honest.
He's good.
People live in Canberra. It's probably not Canberra itself, the city I think about, but the state or the territory is probably one of the least most thought about. It's probably the least most thought about territory / state in the country.
Yeah.
I'll go weeks without thinking about that this place exists.
Yeah.
Until I have a show on here or something.
Yeah.
Reese had a great shout we were driving around and he's like, dude, we're driving around Canberra and he goes, man, it just looks like Pyongyang in North Korea.
Yeah.
Like the pictures you see of it.
I think it looks like a dystopian society from one of those films where it's like, you know, they're like in like the sections, kind of like the Hunger Games, actually. Very much like the industrial Hunger Games
vibes. It's
like
concrete, soulless, made for politicians.
I think, but like why? Why would you make it? I don't know.
It's a fake city.
It's weird.
It also gives Soviet Russia.
Yeah.
For some reason. I've never been to...
You've never even been to Soviet Russia, though.
I've seen movies.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? I've seen soulless places depicted on film, and this feels like you're in it. And it's not inherently bad, Canberra.
No, it's not bad, but it's like...
The show was awesome. I did the biggest show I've ever done.
Oh my God, the sound. It was like in this giant, like a theatre created for music. So all of the acoustics were incredible. The sound just reverbed off the walls.
It was like a big concert hall with a beautiful wooden stage, massive hall. Biggest show I've ever done in Australia, which is cool. And best show of the tour so far. It was amazing. So thank you very much for coming out, Canberra.
Yeah.
But I think that's why maybe the show is such a vibe.
Yeah, dude. It was awesome.
The rest of their existence is like so soulless here. It's not their fault. There's a lot of people here who, you know, want something to do.
They need something to do.
They haven't built it. There's no infrastructure. They have a great war museum.
Okay, hold on. So, Luke, everyone, I'm sorry. I fucked up. You know that giant spinning wheel thing that we have that pretty much dictates what we do for the weekend? I forgot it. So I now have created my own spinning wheel on my phone.
We have a little phone wheel. It's a portable...
Via an app.
Yep, portable phone wheel.
Yep. So should I just go for it, Luke?
Yeah, I'm hoping for a turn up. I've got shows each night this weekend. We're in Port Macquarie. That's always a vibe.
Yeah.
Let's rip it. I want to turn up.
No, I want to turn up as well. Oh, by the way, what did you do this weekend? We did the shows.
What did I do like the last weekend?
How did you celebrate? What did we do after
Was
the
it
shows?
a wind down?
No, it was wind down, yeah.
Yeah, it was a wind down. Yeah, I think it was wind down last week and I didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I had a really uneventful weekend. I did shows. I did a show in Griffith.
That's what it was.
Perfect
Griffith.
place if you want to wind down. Like, it was Saturday night. We left the show at like 10 p.m. and there was like 4 cars on the main street.
Bruh.
Usually regional towns go off on the weekend because there's nothing else to do. Dead. The only place open was the 24-hour Maccas.
But you know what's really funny about that? So I was talking to the theatre staff and the manager was like, oh, are you guys going out to the main strip after this? And we were like, we might go grab some food or something like that. She was giving me all of these recommendations, but she was like, oh, but by the way, Friday, Saturday nights here are just so full on, like packed streets, kids are out, just very crazy. We're driving down the street at night and there's literally like maybe like 5 drunk people and that's it. Like it was not eventful at all.
No, and also all the food recommendations, the places were closed.
Yeah.
She's like, you should head here. And we're like, this looks like it's been closed for 14 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's newspaper in the window.
Ain't nobody got any pasta coming from this place.
Yeah. They were giving us food recommendations from the mid-90s. But I think that place hasn't got an update. No one's installed the new patch in Griffith for like at least 25 years and they're still running on. It's like a whole town is like they got Windows XP and then they just never moved on. That's the energy.
Yeah,
like
for sure. They've only just learnt how to use that and like they still can't see well.
We didn't even have a bad time. It was actually kind of nice.
Awesome. We stayed in the Quest as well.
I've been to
lovely.
Way shitter places.
Yeah.
Like people like rag on regional places. I feel like I have a fairly good perspective of them all.
Yeah.
That was fine.
It was fine.
Had nice little cafes.
Yeah, it was cute. They had cafes on every like street corner, like block on every block.
The theatre was cool.
It was really cool. Anyway, I'm going to spin the wheel.
And the Mafia's there. I found out all about this.
Oh, okay. Should we do spin the wheel first and then can we talk about that?
I would love to talk about it.
Because I feel like all of our dads told us about this. Anyway, all right. I think this is how I spin the wheel.
Praying for a turn up.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. It's turn up. Oh, wow.
Let's go.
I'm not going to lie. That was like thrilling to watch that wheel spin. I think electronically you're like, okay, it's definitely going to land on the wind down, but got that. Awesome. Exciting. Yay. Turn up. Woohoo. I've turned into a middle-aged mum.
When? Now?
Yeah. Should I do the dance?
Can you do a mum dance?
I could do the mum dance.
Yeah, I'll describe it for audio listeners. Yeah, let's do some visual content on the pod.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Do you want to hold my microphone as well?
So for audio listeners, make standing up. Her 2 arms are out. And that's a mum dance if I've ever seen one. Oh, now she's clapping. She's not doing it in rhythm with the music. Now she's a white mum. Oh, yep, this is great. Good stuff. Now she's pointing at the cameras. It's pretty daggy. Has mum energy. Now she's cutting shapes while bobbing. And that is a great way to end out.
Thank you. Thank you. Applause. And everyone. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
You are going to be the hardest MILF on the D floor.
You know it.
So, yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, we found, it's so funny when we told all of our dads individually, like, I guess when you're at family dinner and stuff, everyone's like, oh, so what's places are you going on this leg of the tour? And, we're like, the usuals, blah, 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 Port Mac, Canberra, blah, blah, blah. That never gets too much of a response.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. And then we're like, Griffith. Every single dad, Reese's dad, Meg's dad, my dad, all said the same thing. They went, Griffith, the home of the Australian Italian Mafia.
And we were like, what?
And then I get there and, dude, I see why. Because Dad's like, yeah, you mightn't come back alive. I'm like, Dad, it's not the 70s, but all right. Also, I feel like this probably happened in like the 50s.
My dad was telling me straight up about just like the murders and how apparently there's all of this stuff that like, not evidence, but they think that the bodies that they hid are underneath the orange trees that they have.
Yeah, they bury people in the orchards and also in the tanks of like the wineries. But we were driving past it. Great spot to bury a body, just saying.
Fantastic spot. I mean, no one's going to rip up a perfectly good orange tree for an investigation that might not be successful, are they? No,
but also we were driving down like rows and rows, like the big kind of like rows and rows of plantations.
Yeah.
There's no way of like counting or like which row. You know what I mean? Like you get lost so easy.
Yeah.
Like you just walk in there for 200 meters and it would be hard to find your way out.
Dude, I reckon what might have happened one time was like they buried a body and accidentally like left its hand out, right? So they're going along the plantation.
The body was
they
like,
find
yes,
queen, yes, fifth. And then they were like, oh, there's a hand.
I'm literally so dead right now.
That's so dead.
Literally.
And then they were like, oh, I need to go call the police about this and tell them that there's a dead body underneath the tree. And then they call the police and they're like, the police are like, oh, cool. Can you show us where it was?
No way.
No way. You can't get back there.
Yeah.
It's literally like Pan's Labyrinth.
They should start burying people in mazes. I would give up and be like, well, just tell the family we're sorry.
And then when they do find them, they're like, yay, we won, we found it. And then they can't get back out.
That was morbid. That was somehow more morbid than what I said.
Didn't you ever like celebrate after you did a maze?
I've never been in a maze as an adult that has been a slight challenge.
Fuck off.
The Amazing Amazing Things, Phillip Island, piss easy, 2 minutes. The one down near Geelong, cakewalk. It's embarrassing that they even put up the walls. It's like you might as well have just
you can see over the walls,
spray paint
right?
on the ground. No, but it's just so easy because it's hard to grow hedges.
I can't believe. Well, mine's not, but it was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, but the one in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire where it moves, that's the only way I reckon I could get got by a maze.
You are going to eat your own words here because now you bloody know that Reese and I are going to try and find a bloody maze in Australia.
If you find a maze that's challenging, good luck.
There's no way. I reckon there's at least one maze in Australia that there's no way. I reckon like I could find one where you have to like camp out because you literally can't find your way back. I'm going to find it.
Now we need to do a follow-up of the Muck-up Day stories from last week.
Yes.
So we asked people to send in your best Muck-up Day stories from year 12 and a couple of them are absolute doozies.
Dude, we literally got hundreds sent in.
So many submissions.
Because we posted it on the initial question on our TikTok and Instagram. And then we also asked, obviously, the listeners of the podcast as well to send in them. And boy, oh boy, there are a lot of double ups, like heaps and heaps. Like some people put like 15 things of the same one down.
From reading all the submissions, it became quite obvious that perhaps 17, 18-year-olds across the board aren't maybe full of creative ideas.
Yeah.
But yet some of them are still funny. For example, Amy said, the best muck-up day I have seen is a toilet. It was concreted to our school oval and someone took a shit in it.
That's good. That's good.
Feels more like a jackass stunt than a school thing.
Yeah, for
I don't know. If you're shitting on school grounds, not in the toilet. Well, I guess they are in the toilet.
No, they are
actually.
in the toilet though. They're just in the wrong one.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, well, what, miss? Where was I supposed to go?
Leanne sent in.
Dude, imagine being in class like, oi, miss, I need to go to the toilet. And they're like, all right, you can go. Bring 2 friends. Do they do that in high school? No, I don't remember.
Why would they do that in high school?
That was a primary school thing, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They go at the school oval and just rips a shit, and then they comes back and you're like, teacher's like, why did you shit on the oval? He's like, you said I could go to the toilet.
Said I could go to the toilet, miss. Leanne, I can't stop thinking about that. It's really funny. Leanne said, someone at our school put the school up for sale on real estate sites and had for sale signs made up for the front of the school.
That's great. Putting the school up for sale. But who approved that at the real estate agent?
You don't have to. You can actually, if it's on a real estate site like realestate.com and stuff.
You can just
make
a private listing?
You can just make a private listing.
But there's no one like curating it, like calling the school, like just to check you guys are thinking of selling, right? But can you even sell a school? Like, doesn't the government own it?
No, well, it depends, right?
If it's a private school.
If it's a private school, then no. But if it is a public school, then it doesn't matter. You can't sell a school like that. You can't just be like,
no.
Yeah.
Or imagine if they just listed it up for rent. You're like, yeah, it's like 64 bedroom, 8 toilet. It parks 34. You know, there's an oval, comes with a tennis court, gymnasium. If it's a private school, probably a water polo pool as well.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. It'd just be a giant mansion. Anyway, here's another one, and this is another one I really like. Katie said pushed the principal's car onto the roundabout and concreted it there.
What's up with how much concrete do people have access to? I don't think I mean, I guess I did have access to concrete when I was 18, but I've never once tried to concrete anything to something else.
You know what my most popular answer was?
What?
Everyone, so many people.
Submissions?
Yeah. Sorry, submissions. It was people going, we concreted the toilets. So they poured concrete down all of the toilets. That was the most common one. That's been done so much.
Yeah. With actual concrete? Or do you reckon they just all loaded up on the canteen food and then let it rip 4 hours later?
Well, they also said that they filled it with that jelly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen shits in school toilets that may as well have been from Bunnings, like with powdered with concrete mix. Dude, the one at the warehouse that Lewis and I used to do the show at.
Oh my God,
that was straight up tarmac.
Dude, so for those who haven't followed Luke and Lewis, in the past they had this.
We used to do a podcast out of a warehouse, and it was a big arc on our show of who did this giant poo.
Yeah.
But it was, well, I reckon you would have had to get a jackhammer if you wanted to break through it.
It was so bad.
Like no normal plumbing equipment that a plumber would have on hand for a house call would have been able to penetrate what was left in that toilet.
Dude, it kept getting bigger though.
Yeah, but the mold hardened.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just crusty. It was like solidified.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure at one point we tried to bounce a ball and it ended up pinged back up. I think.
No, it didn't.
Well, because we had to test it if it was slop or not.
Oh, God, I want to die. That's so gross.
I don't think we ever said that publicly.
I don't think you did either. I don't remember that episode.
I'm pretty sure someone had like a bouncy ball and then it like bounced back and we're like, oh my God, it's harder.
I love that. You thought that was too gross to put onto the episode. You were like, oh, look, we'll talk about the warehouse poo extensively, but we're not going to talk about how we bounced a ball off it.
No, because we used to debate a lot if it was hardened or not. And then one day it just disappeared. So someone did get rid of it.
Yeah, the poor person had to shovel it out. God. Anyway,
this was my favorite one. A lot of them are car based. This one, look, okay. If this is true, then I'm very impressed. I just can't fathom the logistics of this actually being real.
So if it's true, it's the best.
If
it's not true, then it's like, okay, well, it's a good theory.
If this is true, it's the best Muck-up Day prank I've ever heard. Oh. But I don't know. So the only thing that makes me think it is true is because it's from Jai, and he said, so I've got 2 Muck-ups and one of them's from the country. And you can tell this is the one from the country. One was from the year above me. The tech student semi-disassembled a teacher's car so they could get it inside the library and then reassembled it so it looked like it had been driven in. The teacher was so confused.
That is really good. Dude, the payoff to that.
It would be like when you're walking through a like a shopping center or a supermarket and they've got like that car that you can win.
Oh my God.
And it's just like there's someone trying to fly you like to win the new like Hyundai.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. A disassembled car body still doesn't fit through maybe a double door, but
definitely fits through a double door.
Yeah, but how does it fit through the bit where how most libraries have the beeper that if you steal a book?
No, they don't actually. Most of them don't have it like that.
Our school library used to have a thing where it was like beep.
Yeah, but the normal libraries and other schools that I went to, before obviously choosing the school that I wanted to go to, had just open straight into the open space. So I feel like I do think that it was a real thing. I'm hoping that it's a real thing because that's so funny.
I hope it's real. I do feel like it seems
also how creative.
Yeah, but it feels like just a myth that's like whatever really happened. Maybe it wasn't you just know for a fact the real story is we took off the teacher's bonnet and we hid it in the library.
I don't even know if I put this in, but there was another one that said, I think it was on TikTok, these guys took one of the teacher's Mini Coopers and they lifted it and put it up the top of the stairs, like underneath.
With a crane.
Yeah, no, like they lifted the car and put it up. So I'm like, I don't know how heavy a Mini Cooper is, but I feel like it's way heavier than what a bunch of teenage boys could lift.
I certainly couldn't lift the car.
No, I saw you as a teenager, and I don't think that you could have done that either.
I mean, still to this day, I'm not powerlifting cars on the reg.
Really?
Yeah, that might come as quite a shock to our listenership, but no, my powerlifting days are well behind me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like.
What are you doing? I've just turned to the right of me, and Tyler
has entered. Instead of walking through one of the cameras, you've.
Dude, you were literally climbing over the
kitchen. You were standing on the bench and you thought that would be more discreet than just walking through this.
You look like my sleep paralysis demon. Coming at me at night. Just walk through the camera. Just walk on through.
It's from Shano with 6 O's. So it's good.
Oh, God, this is going to be good.
Oh, no, maybe it's from Shano. Anyway. The year 12s melted plastic in the quad and wrote "suck scrotum." It left a faded mark for years after.
That's good.
I like the longevity of that.
I like the long play. That's so good. This one I really liked. We had a big sign on our quad that said "We are" and then the name of school High. Year 12 snuck in overnight and painted over the school name to say "We are High." Very good.
Clever.
Very good. Clever. I like it.
This is the final one I have. It's from Monika.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's year covered the movement sensor of the security alarm during class.
Oh, yeah.
We came back at night. I don't condone this next part. They fed some goats with an animal-safe laxative, put the goats in the classroom, then disappeared into the darkness of the night, only to act shocked the next day at school. Dude, imagine their scent. Imagine the waft as the teacher opened the classroom door and just the door swings open and the smell would it would hit you in the eyes.
Yeah, dude, that would be like the stinging eyes.
Yeah.
You know when your eyes tear up and it gets in your nose and you're like, oh my God.
You would get pink eye from being near the door. Jesus Christ.
Because some of them are so different to each other.
The best one by far is putting the school up for sale. Because I believe that.
Yeah.
If the disassembling and reassembling the car is real, then I respect it. But as I was saying the other week on the pod, the ones where it takes you so much effort, there must be some point as you're like trying to reassemble the car where like the bonnet's not going on, one of the tires you're having trouble get back on, or like the wheels. There must be some point where it stops being fun and you're like, fuck, why did we disassemble this car? This?
Especially if the reaction, it's completely reliant on the reaction of the teacher as well.
My favorite prank is when the energy the whole time as you're doing because all pranks require a bit of planning.
Yeah.
The whole time you need to be in the mindset of this is going to be so good. When we see the look in their face. Right? The whole time you have to have that energy. If at any point it stops being fun and you start yelling at the person like, what are you fucking doing? Just stop, leave it, just leave it. As soon as it stops being fun, prank's done.
Yeah.
Prank becomes unfunny. That's my favorite prank is low effort, high reward.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You know? That's why I think, so my favorite is the real estate one.
Because as they're listing it, like it's fun. That the whole process of that is fun. You go around, you take the professional pictures of the school, right? And you go realestate.com. Dude, I wonder how much it's gonna go for, dude. Probably heaps. Hey, we should bid for it. Yeah. We should bid. Yeah. Oh, we got a private school. Yeah, your dad's rich. He could probably buy it. Right? That whole process is fun to me.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. It's harmless as well. Like, obviously the school's not going to get sold, but the reaction would be.
I don't understand how like the library staff have just allowed like clearly what is like 8 people to reassemble the principal's car. What in the bit? But do they move the couches where people read?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. And I also like the one, I kind of loop these in the same one where the principal's car gets put in the middle of the roundabout and concreted to it, because then it just becomes like an art
Yeah, it becomes like a
an art
landmark
piece.
for the suburb or the town.
Yeah. I feel
that.
like you should just leave it there and just be like, okay, this is a good one. A
Yeah.
reminder.
The next step of the prank will be to seek council approval to have that left there as a landmark.
There. Yeah. And I also, my third is definitely the pigs one still. That's forever going to be the GOAT. It's like so legendary. Just a recap. People brought pigs into the school, labelled them 1 to 3, but missed out on 2. Fucking phenomenal.
Everyone was looking for number 2.
Everyone's looking for number 2. No pig number 2. I think that's so funny. Oh, you know what else was one of the most popular submissions that we had for it? People glad wrapping year 7s to poles.
Oh yeah.
So many.
It feels a little like frat kind of hazing.
Yeah.
Energy. They get more mean than funny. It also does that really happen in real life?
Oh, I just
does that type of bullying actually happen where you get glad wrapped to a pole? It feels like something out of Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
It just didn't seem like it was.
Glad wrapped me to a pole.
Yeah, it just didn't seem
Kick
like
him
it
in the
was very
balls. Scream for help. Surely, how does no one intervene?
There was just no creativity involved in that, is there? It's like, okay, cool. You've done that.
The other suggested one we got was heaps. Was some people just draw dicks with weed killer. Oh yeah, it was by far the most common suggestion.
Yeah, that's definitely that and the cow one.
Pretty funny if you can get an aerial view of it. It really only the payoff is exclusively comes in clutch if you have a helicopter. Yeah, which is maybe a private school vibe. If you're in a public school and do that, you kind of just have to get on a roof and appreciate your work.
Yes.
But it's still good, I guess.
Yeah, it's still good. And also, can people, this is a PSA, can people please stop putting cows at the top of stairs? It's not funny anymore. It's been done. Yeah. We already know what's going to happen to the cow. It's going to get shot. That was by a just landslide the most popular submission. So many people it's so funny, we put the cow up the stairs and then we went to McDonald's to celebrate Betsy's death.
Well, cheap steak at the local pub for the week after. Depends how regional it is.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's probably the same cow that they used at the McDonald's.
Yeah.
So that's our favorites, but please pop in the comments what you guys think is your favorite, even if you've got any more and stuff.
The more regional, the better. Those are always the ones that amuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
Something about the creativity of a country town, something that, that kind of creativity only comes with lack of Wi-Fi and reception.
Yeah.
There's the inner city suburb ones are mean, like they all come off like mean, bored kids. Yeah. A lot of the submissions we got.
Or just
we threatened to kill our best friend. Hilarious.
Or monetary wise, where they had
they throw money at a prank.
Yeah, you throw a ton of money at the pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a dying breed, Luke, because a lot of people were like, look, we don't do it anymore at our school because it's banned, but as a past thing. So, maybe we might be the last to talk about this.
My muck-up day was crazy. I dressed up as Anakin Skywalker.
And I dressed up as a Barnacle Boy and
what is Barnacle Boy?
From SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, I see. I don't really know the side characters of SpongeBob. I'm
awesome.
That's another weird thing about me.
Do you remember
I've seen SpongeBob.
Have you?
I only know Patrick and SpongeBob and the crab.
Yeah, but have you seen the meme of the invisible car?
What's the guy with the blue head? Skidwood. Yeah.
Anyway, my friend and I, rather than going in one of the big groups, because you know how usually on Muck-up Day you do it with a massive group of people.
Yeah.
We were like, fuck these people, and then we were just doing our own thing.
Yeah, that was.
It was awesome.
My friend Dean got the funniest one. He dressed up as Princess Leia. An absolute classic. Wore the bikini from the Jabba the Hutt scene where she's tied to him.
That went down.
All the good costumes started to go pretty quick, and I'm not very organized, so I got to the night before, and I was like, just go to the shops and buy.
What did you do for Muck-up Day?
Anakin.
Oh, yours was Anakin.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Hilarious.
Oh, I do remember you walking around like that. Actually,
pretty sure Tyler went as Wolverine and just completely ditched it. Because I remember I have this image of Tyler on my phone. We went and had a barbecue and beers after school. Yeah. And then he was cooking on the barbecue, like pinging the snags, skewering them with his claws. And then he was like turning the sausages with these Wolverine claws.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not very food
It's like
safe.
the only memory I have from last day of year 12.
It's not exactly hygienic, but
actually, I'm pretty sure one of my other mates went as Master Chief. So I don't know why I did go as Anakin. I think I just could not be bothered.
That's so weird.
I gave up.
No, I definitely, for the swimming carnival, I gave up. I just went as a troll.
But in hindsight, we all went as Disney princesses. You're like, get it? Bunch of dudes
wearing
dressing
dresses.
as chicks. This is going to age awesome.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to put more effort into the Muck-up day one. And when I say put more effort in, I mean I literally still got it together a night before. My mum was pissed. I was like, hey, Mum, can you drive me to Kmart? And it was like 8 p.m. And she's like, what the fuck? It closes in like an hour.
It is wild that like 7 years ago, now are you even allowed to cross dress at school? Probably not, right? But then my brother's year twos before us, a bunch of dudes rocked up in blackface doing Bloods versus Crips, and they sent them home. Yeah, like half the year.
No shit. What?
Yeah,
that was like 2014, 15?
2012. Because I finished in 2014.
That is not good. They actually, like, full blackface.
Well, yep.
This is how fucked up that is. Our school was, like, at one stage classified as, like, the most Caucasian school in Victoria.
Well, not on that day.
And it fucking shows, does it? Not on that day.
Finally, a bit of diversity.
Oh, my God. Oh, disgusting. Yeah, I wonder if other people still dress up and whatnot for Muck-up Day. It is so fun. If your school doesn't do it, I'd highly recommend you push them to do that, because it is a lot of fun getting dressed up with your mates.
But yeah, awesome. The tour's been going well. Yeah, last night, biggest show in Australia. It was cool. And what else did we do? We did Albury. That was fun.
Yeah.
I have no good stories from the tour. I slept until 12 today. That was awesome. It was actually the highlight so far.
It was pretty awesome.
I got a full night's sleep.
It was comfortable as well.
Yeah. And we didn't have Macca's fit in last night. So it was like this double win.
No, we had grilled.
Still a burger.
Still a burger. But it's been really cool because even though Luke either has to do he's got the VIP meet and greets, but we're no longer allowed to do the full meet and greet with everyone at the end, just because these venues don't allow that many people to queue up, because it would take hours to get through that many people. But it's been pretty cool because I do the merchandise, so I still see everyone. And I've had so many Luke and Meg fans coming up and saying hi, and I really appreciate it. It was really cool.
I've been plugging the pod on stage, when I remember, and a lot of people listen.
Yeah, it's actually very surprising.
Our fans are woo girls. I go, also I have a podcast with my girlfriend Meg. Woo!
Let's go. Yeah, Meg! Woo girls. I don't think they're saying woo Meg. I think they're
literally.
No.
Woo! Yeah.
But yeah, no, everyone's super lovely. They like the podcast, which is good. Or they could just be saying that to my face and being like, it's fucking shit. But it
is weird actually, not
really cool.
Yeah,
how do you feel not being able to meet as much of the crowd anymore?
Still meet people who do the VIP one. That's always great.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do that, because they were like, oh, you're not allowed to meet anyone. And I was like, I don't know. I felt a bit weird about either way, to be honest. It feels, I didn't want to charge people to meet me, but then also I can't meet over 1,000 people because
but
the venue closes and their staff need to go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. The show's been going well. It's fun doing different material each time. Material's so new that it's the most fun I've had on stage, because I think I did the last one so many times, the cheers to that one, that by the end I was kind of just ready to put it on the back burner and film the special and say goodbye.
Yeah.
But now this one, it feels very fresh.
Well, a lot of people don't know, unless you are a comedian, that the jokes that you do, they start off obviously fresh, and then jokes themselves can actually get stale, even though
it's one step before that. Most of my crowd, I did a poll the other night on stage, don't think I have jokes.
Really?
I was like, give us a cheer.
Oh, no,
it was in Griffith. I was give us a cheer if you just think I'm going to ask the crowd, what do you do for an hour? And 75% of them were like, woo! And they wanted it. And I was like, you guys would hate this. After 15 minutes, this would be horrific.
You did a poll on stage?
I think it came up. It was just oh, what, you guys think I'm just going to do this for an hour? And I watched 10 people nod their head, and I was like, wait, who thinks I just do that? And the whole crowd was like, yeah, that's all your videos are.
I mean, look, I'm like, what the fuck? Who would think that? But literally,
no, that is so dumb.
I'm
sorry.
No, remember when I first saw? So Lewis Spears was the first ever comedian that I ever saw. So when I got with Luke, it just so happened that few weeks, 4 weeks later, Lewis had his show at the Comics Lounge. So you invited me there. I'd never seen comedy before, so I didn't really know what to expect. And when I got there, I think the reason why I thought this was because before we talked, you were like, oh, these are all new ideas and bits and stuff. So I thought you were kind of riffing off those. And so in my head, I was like, oh, they have an outline of something that they want to talk about, but then the whole thing's not scripted. It's kind of loose because it's so natural and it just comes off so easy. So I'm one of those idiots. I was like, oh, it's I knew that it was a little bit scripted, but I thought it was kind of
the first time
off the cusp.
The first time I ever watched stand up for the first time, I remember thinking, oh, that's cool that they write material then say it. It was so obvious to me. It was the clear as day watching the gala going, it's very clear that these are routines.
Oh no, the gala was
and so obviously scripted. Just any stand up I'd ever watched online, I was anything. I was it's just so obvious. And that is why I think a lot of people think comedians plant people in the audience, which no one ever would do. But anyway, I think that's why, because I was under the impression that most people knew it was scripted or thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Now, because crowd work's become this thing on TikTok, the new generation thinks the opposite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's also some of the time comedians will have not a fully written script or something with crowd work, but it's if someone gives them an answer, they happen to have a response to it that's already been written. And so that's why when you guys did it, it was this crazy mix where you did crowd work. It was definitely off the cusp, but then you would go into material and I found it hard to understand where they blended together.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of blurred. But yeah, I feel this new generation, because that's all they see.
Yeah,
is crowd work.
Yeah, it is half. Last night I ended with 8 minutes of new material in front of 1,100 people.
Oh my God, that made me feel sick when you said that you were going to do that.
And it did really well, and it was the biggest sense of relief I've ever felt when I walked off stage. Literally, we thought of it an hour and a half before the show. Alex and I, who's opening the shows.
Ending.
Yeah, I was the show needs a new end. It's not hitting. I just ended, it's the very start of the tour. Had an end, but I wasn't happy with it. And then I was and I had this idea, but I was I can't just do it. I need to script it out first before I take it to the stage. And then we kind of just started workshopping it backstage. What about this happens? And then this happens. And then we were riffing, we were laughing about it. And then I was fuck it. I'm just going to wing it.
And riff it like this.
And do it up there. And it was obvious that I was just winging it, but it made it even funnier because I think the crowd realized he's just fucking making this up.
Which is pretty funny.
And I was. But I knew where I wanted it to end and where I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And then it hit that big last line and it had the payoff that I wanted. And actually more. It went way better than I thought it would go.
Yeah.
And I was oh, thank the Lord. This would have been awful if I sort of
big of it, over 1,000 people just staring at you blankly. It didn't.
It was a gamble, but it paid off.
It's good that it paid off. I'm
glad. It was fun.
No, they've been going really well. So, if you haven't come and seen a show yet, do it.
Get on down to the happy hour tour.
Get on down to the happy hour tour, you.
It's very happy. It goes for an hour.
Yeah. Very happy.
That's it.
Tickets
at lukekidgel.com.
Boom. Yeah, so weirdly, mixed in with all of the submissions that we got for the Muck-up Day, someone just randomly sent me through, this isn't for the Muck-up Day, but my school used to ban, because we were talking about how Muck-up Day is banned. They were my school banned certain games from being played in primary school. So at their school, apparently Tiggy was banned because kids kept spear tackling each other in the courtyard.
Well, that's British Bulldog.
What's British Bulldog?
British Bulldog is where you got to get from one side of the other to the other and then it's tackle.
You tackle them to the ground.
Yeah, the proper British Bulldog. Yeah, it's like rugby without the ball. But then when you get tackled, then you become one of the Bulldogs in the middle and it's the last person standing.
Look, I did
but
that
you can play
game
touch as well.
with ours was called Octopus.
Yeah, it's like Octopus, but British Bulldog is tackling Octopus.
Yeah, right.
But Octopus, you have to stay still and be an octopus.
Yeah, and you have to try and touch
but British Bulldog, you just let it run and deck people.
Yeah. Anyway, it then triggered my memory with that my family wasn't allowed to play hide and seek because
What?
Yeah, we weren't allowed to play hide and seek because when my brother and sister were little, and I was just like a baby, I wasn't even in on this, but my brother and sister were playing hide and seek around the house, and for some reason in their game, you didn't win unless you tagged the person. So it was like hide and seek plus a little bit of tag, you know? And so
that's just tag.
Yeah. So Kirsten.
That's tag, but you've chosen to hide so the person can't tag you.
Yeah.
It's not hide and seek. Hide and seek is I found you. You can come out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Ready or not? Here I come.
My brother was chasing my sister.
It's not 3, 2, 1. Ready or not? I'm going to put you into the concrete.
That was my family. Yeah, so my sister was chasing my brother. Oh no, my brother was chasing my sister and chased her into this room. And Kirsten like pushed the. Oh no, it was like the opposite. Kirsten was trying to pull the door, and Tom was like trying to open it up. And so he like put his fingers into like behind the door, and Kirsten like slammed the door and chopped off the top of his finger. And it was just grandma home. She was like freaking the fuck out. And then she was like, oh, I need to wash the finger because I don't want to put a dirty finger
Grandma,
back on.
Kirsten made Tom an amputee.
Again.
Like
it's happened before.
Is it when, you know, like when you're a kid and you hurt your sibling and then your parents are like, what's going on? And you go, shut the fuck up, shut up.
Stop crying.
We're both going to get in trouble. Just be cool.
Or you're like, it's okay. You're okay. And you're like, and they're like, you're okay. You're fine. You're okay.
Was he sitting there? I assume his finger was on the floor.
Yes, it was. Hence why grandma had to.
Your grandma comes in. What's going on? He's sitting there like, and she's like, Tom, is that your finger on the floor? What happened to that? Huh?
Kirsten's like,
did it fall off, did it?
Did it fall off on its own?
Yeah.
Did your finger fall off by itself?
This is why you shouldn't pick your nose.
That is such a grandma thing to say. But yeah, she picked up the finger and she was washing it over the sink. And now this is dumb, but she accidentally dropped the finger into the sink. And it was remember the old laundry sinks, how they didn't used to have, it was just an open hole.
Sorry, I was kind of kidding before.
About what?
How much finger?
Oh, it was like the tip of his finger, like from the line.
Like the nail?
Yeah, like
all of the nail part?
Yeah, the whole nail part came off.
Does he not have...
He's got a scar. No. So luckily, grandma washed it and put it on ice, and then they got to the hospital and they managed to reattach the finger, but it doesn't have any like feeling at the top of it.
This makes me feel sick. I hate shit like this. Why? If it's... We're not meant to be stitched back together.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, people get stitched up all the time.
I know that's true. Like you can put a finger on ice and you can put it back on, but I've never heard of it actually happening.
Yeah, all the time. People can like cut off their arm, and if it's clean snap, then they can reattach it.
Oh.
You're just
How old was
cringing.
he?
They were young. I think he was like 5 when that happened.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a bit gross, isn't it? Bit gross, but ever since then,
I don't think hide and seek is the problem. It's don't smash doors into each other's hands.
Yeah,
it wasn't the game that was inherently the problem there. That's bullshit.
Just with our track record, though, like we are a very competitive family, and so pretty much every game we managed to turn into something quite aggressive and violent.
No, it doesn't fix it. It doesn't solve the issue. It's like that could happen in another game. You know what I mean? It feels like when schools used to ban footy cards. You're like, no, don't ban footy cards. Just ban grade 6s scamming preps for $100 a piece for a wild card.
Have you told this story?
What?
Have you said this before on the podcast?
That I did before. I think I've said this. I've done a couple shady deals in my time with wild cards.
It's so funny. So we used to have this thing called like the footy cards. Actually, I think it's still a thing.
Well, yeah, AFL footy cards still a thing. They've always been a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they peak in popularity with most people about grade 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Which I would say like is where you start appreciating the value of a gold or silver, and sometimes if you're lucky, wild card.
Yeah.
And there was only one wild card for every team. Rumor at the time was they were worth $50 each. I got a Richmond wild card. I go for Melbourne. That's not what I wanted. Not ideal, but you take it. Mm-hmm. Then found out that another kid at school got the Melbourne one in a packet. He went for Richmond.
Oh, what a perfect.
My dad is a teacher at the school, but unfortunately footy cards are banned by this point, outlawed.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
They were banned.
Kids are being scammed left, right and centre. There's tears in the playground.
What? Just scammed with footy cards?
Mate, it's a tough world out there. There's older kids walking up to grade 2s going convincing them that silver is the best. No, so it's the worst, and you should give me like, or you know what I mean?
Give me all your silvers.
There's kids trading normals for golds when they shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These kids not understanding the hierarchy of wealth in the footy card system.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, they got banned. My dad was a teacher. I was like, look, we can make this happen. I've spoken to his dad. He's spoken to me. We're meeting well before school. And we did this shady deal where it was like, there was still mist about it. Felt like a mafia film.
Griffith.
Yeah, we went to Griffith to do it.
In Griffith.
We went into the middle of an orchard.
Yeah.
It was misty. That was like just outside one of the classrooms. And I remember like, it was literally like a full drug deal. Like I remember dad was like, the other dad, like, have you bought it? He's like, yeah, I've bought it. And then like, we're like, you show it in 3, 2, 1. At least as a kid, it seemed that dramatic. I'm sure we just swapped cards. But as a kid, it felt like the biggest deal ever. And then my dad was like, all right, mate, I reckon we'll just go put it back in the car. Like, just so you don't lose it. And I was like, yeah, great call. Like, I don't want to be robbed.
Bruh.
That was not like my most expensive asset. I was like 8.
You're like dealing cocaine. That's what the equivalent is.
$50 footy card. It was that and my Sharon were like my 2 expensive assets as a kid. Oh, no, not even Sharon. I was 8. I had an Auskick footy in a backpack that said Auskick on it.
Oh, that's so funny.
I had a Milo cricket bat. That was probably my 4th best asset.
I had a Kookaburra one.
It's pretty fucked up that as an adult, that's still probably like my 9th best asset. My Weepex cricket kit that I got for free in a raffle is like...
We still have that one, so I think that's pretty cool.
If you take away like all like the cameras and equipment that I need for this job, dude... If I ever like owed the bank money and they're like, oh, we need to repossess all your assets, they would have to get just shit like, what do you have this old Tamagotchi for? How much is that worth? You know what I mean?
I've got this old Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, you have a Jabba the Hutt costume?
The costume. You got a Princess Leia costume.
That's worth heaps.
You've got a old bongo.
Yeah, I feel like if my house got
Fiji
raided
or something.
I have a Jar Jar Binks mouse pad. That was $20 from Vistaprint.
That's still under the business. That's the funniest thing of all.
That's right. I bought that with the business card. That's a necessary business expense. I got Jar Jar Binks, but painted as the Mona Lisa. Oh, everyone has a custom mouse pad in the workplace, except for Meg. She didn't want one.
Not yet. I haven't. I know. It's not that I didn't want one. It's that I'm still on the hunt for the perfect mouse pad. So feel free to send me in some mouse pad ideas, okay? Next week, it won't be the Muck-up Day stories we'll be choosing from. It'll be mouse pad ideas, everyone.
It was so funny that in the car, we were talking about these custom mouse pads yesterday, and Reese was like, oh, yeah, mate. Reese was like to Alex, yeah, man, mine's sick. I've got Ja Rule and Ludacris. It's a screenshot from the first Fast and Furious film. And he just can't like, it was funny because we were talking about, and then Reese it's like he just carries it around. He just pulls it out immediately and goes, see?
No, you had it in your bag. You took it on tour.
It crashed so hard.
That's good. That's good.
Reese leaves the house like phone, wallet, keys, mouse pad with Ja Rule.
Yeah, well, send me through some
I
mouse
want
pad
a new
ideas.
one because I want one for the office and I want one for home. I just keep the jar.
Oh yeah,
the Jar Jar Binks one at home, but I do need another custom mouse pad. So I'm in the market for a new one.
Okay, well, send us both in ideas.
Yeah.
And we'll see. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to end the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for sending in your muck-up day ideas. Some of them were shit, but the ones that were good, good on ya.
Love that honesty from you, Meg. Slay.
I'm always going to be honest with our audience.
You guys, hey, not as funny as you think you are. Anyway, that's us.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ. God. No, it's kind of a new energy from you. Usually it's me telling people.
That's true. What's wrong with me? You're rubbing off on me. I'm usually the nice one. You're making me the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my job.
I've ruined you. You were a way better person when I met you.
I was a way better person, guys. You would have loved me. You would have absolutely adored me. You guys would have been like, oh my God, she's the sweetest, nicest human on earth.
Yeah. You hung out with me for 4 years.
Now I'm tainted. Anyway. What a way to end the podcast.
Oh
well.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for joining.
The next week we'll be in somewhere new.
Yeah, some other place. Hope you enjoyed our TV makeshift Luke and Meg thing. All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.